Yo, what is going on, guys? Tuft here, and today I want to talk to you guys about something pretty cool that happened in the CSGO scene last night. OpTic Gaming, the well-known and established Call of Duty team, clan, organization, franchise, whatever you want to call them exactly, whatever they're labeled as technically, actually signed a CSGO roster. Now, this is pretty awesome news, and I think it's going to do a lot to bring the CSGO and Call of Duty communities together, which is something that has always been sort of this unknown and really unreasonable rivalry. I never really understood the clash between the two, and like some people are like, oh, CSGO's the COD killer or something like that, but they're nothing alike. They're two very different games and definitely deserve to have two separate communities, and definitely can exist in the same space, both on YouTube in the competitive gaming scene, and share community members for sure. So I don't really understand the long, like, undisputed rivalry between them. I don't get that part so much, but I think this is something that's really good for the communities to sort of bring them together a bit. So OpTic Hex, the leader of OpTic Gaming, released a pretty awesome video. It was sort of like a video interview or whatever with Shazam, and he's one of the team captains for Conquest, by the way, which is the roster that OpTic Gaming picked up. I'll just go through that real quick. So the ex-Conquest roster, which happened to sort of leave the Conquest brand, I think at the end of 2015, consists of Shazam, Daps, Rush, Nafly, and Stanislaw. I'm pretty sure that's how it is. And yeah, so they got signed by OpTic Gaming, and they're going to be playing under the OpTic brand for 2016, which is pretty awesome. Congrats to those guys, by the way. Really sweet pickup there, both for OpTic and for the guys on the new team. A great sponsor. Obviously, they've got a lot of support, and they're not going to have any problems with that, I'm pretty sure. Like they said in the video, they've already started moving them, or trying to move them into like the house, or like gaming house with the Call of Duty team. It seems like that's sort of what their plan is. Now, this is a pretty good thing, because if you look at the YouTube scene in CSGO, like there's not a lot of super awesome you know, CSGO content creators. Whereas if you look at the Call of Duty scene and the content for the Call of Duty sort of area of YouTube, there's hundreds and hundreds of thousands of, you know, content creators. Sorry, there's hundreds of thousands of content creators for Call of Duty on YouTube. Now, obviously, YouTube has a lot of space occupied by gaming, but really, if you take a step back and look at it, Call of Duty is kind of what pioneered the road to becoming a successful gaming YouTube, you know, star, whatever you want to call it. Call of Duty sort of has always been, and always will be, in my opinion, one of the easiest games to produce content on. But I'm not saying that in a bad way. It's awesome because, you know, obviously it's super easy to pump out a ton of content. It's really entertaining to watch as well. It's different all the time. You can do a ton of different stuff, and that's sort of why, you know, Call of Duty became super popular, in my opinion, or at least on YouTube. And like OpTic Hex said in the video, they have the formula for content creation down. So hopefully what this means is that we're going to see a lot more awesome content coming from the CSGO team as well, both from OpTic and in future in general, like on teams, that sort of thing. And hopefully it sparks a sort of, you know, boom in the CSGO community on YouTube, like it did for Call of Duty, when all of these really big competitive teams started signing rosters, and all of those players from the pro scene, you know, made content and produced like lots of awesome entertaining videos and stuff like that. So that's sort of the first thing that I think is beneficial for, you know, these Call of Duty organizations or gaming organizations signing multiple teams in multiple games and in sort of you know, meshing those communities together. So this is the first time that we've seen two North American Call of Duty and CSGO teams be combined, sort of. I think OpTic is the first person to do that in North America, but we have seen organizations, I'm pretty sure Envious has a Call of Duty team, and obviously they have an extremely successful European Counter-Strike team. So, but this is sort of the first time we've happened to see this in North America, which is pretty interesting. So I think it's going to do a lot to bridge the gap between the communities, and like I said, there's sort of been this rivalry that's extremely unexplained, like the hate between CSGO and Call of Duty, like CSGO is the COD killer, no it's not, blah blah blah. But in reality, these two games have an extremely different you know, style and fan base, and deserve to exist within the same realm, and can definitely share community members for sure. And there really is no comparing the two when it comes to the actual game themselves. So I think they can both definitely exist in the same place and same space, whether that be on YouTube or in the, you know, competitive gaming scene. So I think this is a very good thing for, first of all. and I really support the decisions made by OpTic and the Conquest lineup, or now OpTic Gaming lineup, which is pretty sweet. So obviously this is the first time we've seen this happen in North America, and with a name as big as OpTic, I can definitely see this becoming a popular thing, especially if this lineup and this sponsorship between OpTic and this lineup of CSGO players goes well. I would not be the slightest bit surprised to see bigger organizations, or maybe even other teams that play Call of Duty like FaZe and stuff like that, to start picking up CSGO rosters. Now I think this is really awesome, and I think it'd be cool to see like a FaZe CSGO team as well. And contrary to popular belief, I actually did start as a Call of Duty player. My gaming career, my YouTube career started on Call of Duty, so I've always sort of had a share and love between Call of Duty and CSGO, and now that I'm seeing the two of them come back together, it's a really cool thing, and I hope that 2016 brings a lot more stuff like this, because honestly the esports and gaming community in general, I think, is way too harsh and sort of defensive of their own games, and we all think we're the best and stuff, and that's cool. And obviously without some competition and rivalry, that wouldn't be as competitive and as awesome as it is. But we need to be friendly, and I think sharing communities and sharing a fan base is also pretty sweet as well. So that's sort of what I think about the CSGO roster and the OpTic Gaming thing. I do actually really support this. I think it's a great idea. Great pickup by OpTic Gaming. Cool to see that they have picked up a CSGO roster for sure, and hopefully 2016 brings some awesome changes like this as well. Let me know what you guys think about this in the comments down below, and if at any point in this video you enjoyed what you saw, heard, whatever, make sure you drop a thumbs up on it as well. That would be awesome, and subscribe for more. And subscribe for more if you want epic CSGO content like this in the future. I'll be talking more about community stuff like this and other things happening within the CSGO realm on YouTube, in the community, esports, gaming scene, and stuff like that. I'll see you guys all in the next one. Peace.